hear the voice of the angels. The Nabi hears the voice of angels and he dreams. And the Rasul hears the voice of the angel, he dreams and he sees the angels. This is written in a Shia book. Yeah. So they are, is it not that they are making something that Imam as the same level as the Nabi? And I was watching your TV, and your scholar was saying that Ibrahim alayhi salam was Nabi, then he became Rasul, then he became Khalil, and then after so many tests, he became Imam.
We raised you to an Imam, yes.
This is one. The second one is about the marriage of Kulthum to Hazrat Umar. It was half. It is written in Shia book. It was half from someone asked Imam Jafar al-Sadiq radiallahu anhu about the iddah when the husband dies, about the wife. Can she perform her iddah in somewhere else? And Imam Jafar al-Sadiq said, give the example of the daughter of Ali ibn Abi Talib, that yes, when Umar radiallahu anhu died, Ali ibn Abi Talib went and he bring Kulthum, his daughter, to his house for iddah. This is the second. The third one is I forgot.
Sorry, brother, our time is running very low because we are coming to the end of the show. But we're going to try and answer at least one of those questions. I'm very sorry. But thank you very much for your call. And so the brother's gone. The first question was, in fact, an interesting question. The raising, as we Shias put it, of, or the Quran mentions, of Nabi Ibrahim to the status of Imam.
Well, I'll answer both questions for the brother. In terms of the first question, he said that a Rasul, for example, sees and hears, and a Nabi hears or sees in dreams the angels, and an Imam can hear the angel talk. So the brother clearly has a problem with how can an Imam hear an angel talk. The reference I'll give him is that Bibi Maryam alayhi salam, who's neither a prophet nor an Imam, used to converse with Jibreel alayhi salam. And if Maryam, who's not an Imam or a prophet, Allah grants her the honor that the angels can come and speak to her, then why would the angels who are ordered to bless Muhammad and Al Muhammad not be able to come and speak to the family of the Prophet? In terms of Ibrahim, the verse is clear. إِنِّي جَعَلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. Ibrahim was a Nabi, then a Rasul, then a Khalil, then an Imam. Meaning at the beginning of his life, he was ordered to protect the Sharia. Then he bought a Sharia. Then his role was to govern by the Sharia. And that governorship of the Sharia was the highest level he had reached, because sometimes you may bring a Sharia but not be able to govern it in your own lifetime. But to reach a level where you can govern with your Sharia as well is the highest level that you can reach.
And the way in the Quran is actually raised.
Yeah, he's raised. Yeah, إِنِّي جَعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. Even if the person says, well, how could Ibrahim, so what's so special about Imamat? Imam al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu Farajahu al-Sharif, even al-Mahdi in Sunni works, he will lead prayers with a Nabi like Isa behind him. In terms of the second issue where the brother says within Shia books, there is this reference. In the same works, you see, first and foremost, you don't just take a hadith and say it says this. Ask yourself the question, has a hadith been put in the one after this hadith, which says this chain is strong whereas the previous one is not? You find that the hadith which he quotes, he doesn't seem to quote the one after, where Imam al-Sadiq is asked the question, is this true? He says, woe be to you that we would give our daughter, and so on. I don't need to go into depth, but he says we would not give our daughter towards such personalities. So the question is, who is this Kulthum married to? This Kulthum, daughter of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, was married to Aoun, the son of Ja'far. As we know, Imam Ali alayhi salam has a hadith, he says, my daughters are for my brother's sons. Bibi Zainab married Abdullah bin Ja'far, and you find that Kulthum is known to have married Aoun, the son of Ja'far. So this whole idea of marrying Umar, that Kulthum who Umar married was Kulthum bin Jarwal al-Ansariya.
Excellent, thank you. we still have a few more issues to work through. We are coming towards the end of the show. We've clarified, I believe, the concept, the belief that astaghfirullah Shias worship Imam Ali as being false. So I'm going to focus on the concept of taqiyya. And to finalize the show, a lot of people will say, oh, you Shias, you are allowed to lie in your religion, astaghfirullah. Could you explain the concept of taqiyya for the viewers and how this misconception is obviously a slanderous one?
Yes, this issue of taqiyya seems to be the most famous one, that it even defeats the issue of mut'ah and defeats the issue of, worshipping Ali and all those other myths that are created. And it's ironic, sometimes someone says to you, those are the Shia who do taqiyya. So let's just help him and say to him that in Arabic it's taqiyya first. When we look at this issue of taqiyya, what do we state? We state that in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us of nations who had dissimulated their beliefs in order to protect the religion or protect their life. For example, Ashab al-Kahf had dissimulated their belief. They had hidden their beliefs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises this for them. You find in the story of Musa alayhi salam, there was a rajul mu'minun min al Fir'aun yaktumu imana. He conceals his belief. He was from the people of Fir'aun, but he had to conceal his belief because it's a matter of life and death. In Surah 3 verse 28 of the Quran, لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله من شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقات. The verse very clearly states that the believers should not take the disbelievers as their guardians, and whoever does will not have Allah as his guardian unless he's concealing his belief. In other words, there were times in the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi where you would conceal your belief in a matter of life or death. The Shia also reach a position where they conclude theologically that if it's a situation where you are in a matter of life or death, then you are allowed to conceal your belief, as Ammar ibn Yasir concealed his belief in Surah 16 verse 106 with the verse stating Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim illa man ukriha wa qalbuhu mutma'innun bil iman, except the one who is compelled but his heart has belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ammar ibn Yasir was so tortured by Abu Jahl and by those who surrounded him that Abu Jahl kept saying to him, leave the religion of God, leave the religion of God. He said that, okay, I leave it and I become an idol worshipper. Because of how much he was being tortured, Allah revealed the verse when Ammar went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa saying, Ya Rasulullah, I only said that because I was being tortured. Otherwise, you know I believe in God. The verse revealed, we know that your heart believed in God, but you were compelled to do such an act. So if someone comes and says taqiyya, where is it in the Quran? Surah 3 verse 28, Surah 40 verse 28, Surah 16 verse 106. These are all ample proofs of taqiyya within the Holy Quran. It's ironic because there are other schools in Islam who included things which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa didn't do. For example, as-salatu khayrun min an-nawm. Prayer is better than sleep. Was not part of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa's adhan. It was added by Umar ibn al-Khattab. So you find everyone has their own jurisprudential opinion.
Which is the claim that it's a bid'ah al-hasanat.
It's a good bid'ah.
Yeah. Also in the shahadat, I don't know if you'd want to answer that as well, the concept of testifying after Tawheed, after Nubuwwah, also to the wilayah of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam.
Yes, there is a belief that the first of the shahada is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. The second is Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Legally speaking, in jurisprudence, anyone who says these two, they are a Muslim and they're to be honored and their blood is sanctified and so on. It's all within the books of jurisprudence. So someone says, but you add Ashhadu anna Ali waliyullah. Does that mean someone who doesn't say Ashhadu anna Ali waliyullah isn't to be honored? No. Anyone is a Muslim who says La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah. But Ashhadu anna Ali waliyullah is just a belief which we come forward with, where we state that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih, the wilayah or the guardianship he received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had extended to Imam Ali alayhi salam in his lifetime, that at the end of his life he announced it, and that after he passed away, Imam Ali alayhi salam and his sons become the guardians of Allah's message on earth.
Thank you. I wanted to discuss this dua to the youths in particular years. That I was once speaking in another center in London. Different subject. I was not even speaking on Ilahi al-Bala. And well, when I saw an alim and he was dressed in his kaba and a black turban, so I knew he was to say it. When he raised his hand, of course I gave him priority. But you see, we've got to be careful these times because some of these people come in the wrong garb. He called himself a Shia Sayyid, and he questions me and says, what do you say about that dua which starts Ilahi Adhu Bala? I will not detain you on that history. In less than a minute I'll finish this part of the story to come to the main point. He says, what do you say about that dua Ilahi Adhu Bala? And I mentioned to him the authorities that I mentioned to you. I said, well, I regard that as authentic. The first book that comes to our mind is Mafatihul Jinan, that Shaykh Abbas Qummi, Mafatihul Jinan, has reported this from the 12th Imam alayhi salam. Fortunately, I remembered the account of Allama Tabrasi alayhi rahmah. Put that to him. He says, oh, this is all Shia fabrication. All this is not authentic because reciting this dua is shirk. And there is guna in it. I said, look, I cannot accept that at all. It's taught by an Imam alayhi salam, an Imam who was sent by Allah to stop us from shirk. If there is anybody who will teach us to keep away from shirk, it will be him. He would not be doing the contrary. But I said, this is not my subject, it's not a matter for discussion now, and I will not permit you to take time of the audience on that subject and cut him short. But I realize that there are agencies within us who are promulgating this, and I thought it would be better make this clear. You can see from the first paragraph of this dua, it is a dua to Allah.
Though the Egyptians have got in general sentiments and emotions towards Ahlul Bayt, till now they respect Ahlul Bayt, they visit their shrines, they call their children after the names of Ahlul Bayt. So politically, Shia Islam was banned. Then the Sheikh of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Mahmoud Shaltut, gave a fatwa, verdict, in the middle of the 20th century that the Jafari school of thought, Shia Islam, is one of the recognized Islamic sects. And any Muslim, as he can be, according to him, Hanafi or Shafi'i or Hanbali or Maliki, he can be also Shia Muslim. Because, in fact, Al-Azhar scholars were facing severe problems.
Just take that and then we'll come back to this in a minute, inshallah. Thank you very much for calling in. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, brother, thank you for calling in. Your question, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الشيخ محمد الموسوي، كيف حالك يا شيخ؟
الحمد لله رب العالمين على هدايته لدينه. الحمد لله.
Smells the soil, the sand, the dust that is around Ahmad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The one who smells the sand, merely smelling the sand in his hand, should not smell anything evil in his life. هذه فاطمة. If you want to learn from the madrasa of Fatima, here is the madrasa of Fatima الزهراء. ماذا على من شم تربة أحمد ألا يشم مدى الزمان غواليا صبت علي مصائب لو أنها صبت على الأيام صرنا لياليا